Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin, and this is a video response to two comments on my Two Types of Rolex People video that I uploaded yesterday. The comments were from NATO Steve and Purple Haze, and they were both commenting that they preferred buying new. And so I thought instead of putting my comments in the comment section, just make a video about it. Thought it would be a little easier and maybe more interesting for you guys. So, okay. I have absolutely no problem with buying new, and I can't fault anybody for wanting to do that, wanting a new watch, brand new, knowing everything's on the up and up with it, getting that 5-year warranty. I mean, the hassle of buying used. You have to wonder if it's even worth it at times. It's a bit stressful, especially buying watches on the internet and just seeing pictures. And, there's definitely something to be said for going to a store, knowing exactly what you're getting that 5-year warranty. Just probably helps you sleep better at night. But, there's some good reasons to buy used as well, and I kind of want to explain my feeling on that. Now, Archie Luxury often talks about buying used, but he comes from the angle of, if you want to get out of the watch. I think he often buys watches, I think, with the idea that he's going to move them in the future. And so, if you're doing that, then definitely buying pre-owned is the way to go. You're just going to, obviously, like he says, lose money if you buy new. Now, I have no intention of selling my watches. I mean, if I have to sell my watches, like, something's going on, something's wrong. Okay, so hopefully that day will never come. I plan on keeping them, and so in that sense, I could have and maybe should have bought new, but some reasons why I didn't were one that I mentioned before in terms of the no date sub, and that's the current sub I just don't like as much. Okay, I made a video about the sweet spot for Rolexes, and most new Rolexes just don't fall into that sweet spot for me. So, definitely with no date sub, used was pretty much the only way to go, and definitely with Explorer 2. All right, the Explorer 2 that's on offer right now, I got to be honest. I mean, that I look at that watch and I got to wonder if I'm a Rolex fanboy at all, because I really dislike that watch. The 42 millimeter Explorer 2, I think it just looks too big. I don't like the maxi dial, and the big minute hand drives me crazy. And I'm not the 24-hour hand. They reverted back to that style that they had, I think, in the 70s, which I don't like that either. So they pretty much redesigned that and made that watch worse, in my opinion, in every way. Yeah, it's got some, I'm sure they added, that's got a blue paracrine spring and hairspring and micro adjust bracelet, I think it might have. Okay, it's got some added bonuses, but I would never want that watch. I think it's a hideous watch. So that, I would have to go pre-owned to, if I wanted to get an Explorer 2, which I wanted to. I wanted the white face and the GMT function. So really, that was the only way to go for me. I find myself not wanting to go new because I just like the older models better. So, and again, like I've said in other videos, why pay more for something you like less? Again, it's stressful in a way, searching out used watches and not knowing what you're going to get until you get it, and then I never feel completely satisfied and at ease until I have it overhauled, and then it's cool. Okay, so I've got 2 Rolexes that have been overhauled, and I'm perfectly happy with them. I feel lucky to have found them and everything worked out, and I've got one being overhauled at the moment. So if you like what Rolex has on offer and it's not that big of a price difference, I think like $1,000 or less, I would definitely go new. But I just don't like what they have on offer. And one other thing um, is, okay, well, I've got 3 Rolexes, right? So if I were to choose a new Rolex, it would probably be the GMT Batman, right? The blue and black GMT. Now I've got issues with that too, and it mostly has to do with the band and the polished middle links. But if I had to choose, that would be the watch that I like, and the watch I would go for if I had to buy new. Now, I could have gotten that one watch, or I could have gotten the 3 Rolexes that I have. So I've got a no date sub, Explorer 2, and then the third watch, which I have, and I'm gonna make a video about it, but just hang tight and let me do it in time. I much rather have all 3 of those than that one new GMT. Okay, the more Rolexes, the better. Not always, but I would rather have just the no date sub and the Explorer 2 than the one GMT. But basically, what I'm saying is, cost wise, those 3 Rolexes cost about what that one watch would cost new. Maybe these 3 were a little bit more than that, but so at the end of the day, if you're talking about the same amount of money, I'd rather have the 3 that I have than the one new one. So that's another big factor. Again, if Rolex has exactly what you like and they have it new and it's not a big price difference, yeah, I mean, I'd probably go new too. So to each his own, and I definitely don't fault anybody for wanting to go new. I've had really good luck with used, and I tell you, I mean, if you get burned once buying used, that could just change my opinion right then and there. I might never want to do it again. But so far it's been good. One other thing that I think is kind of cool about used watches, and this is just me, I don't expect anybody else to feel this way, but I'm sure there are some people that do. Let me just start by saying, okay, let's say your dad puts down 2 Datejusts in front of you and says, okay, I've been wearing this one for the last 30 years and here's a brand new one. Which would you want? Okay, me, I would go for his Datejust, okay? The fact that he's been wearing it for 30 years is really cool. Brand spanking new one, yeah, it's beautiful, but I feel like there's something a bit soulless about that. Okay, now if it's your dad, that's one thing. If it's some stranger you don't know from Adam, that's another thing. But when I see a watch, and I'm imagining 2 watches, 2 identical watches sitting next to each other, 2 GMTs, let's say, one is new old stock and one is 10 years old and is used, okay? Look, if it's the same price, I mean, I would feel almost obligated to go with a brand new one, okay? I mean, it would be crazy not to, especially if there are, dings and marks, and if you can't be 100% sure of the used one, I would say this is crazy. I've got to go with a new one. But all things being equal, the used one would interest me in some way, because that history of that particular watch, there's something fascinating about that to me. I'm wearing right now the no date sub. Now this spent 10 years on somebody else's arm. I don't know who it was, okay? And I feel like it's had a whole life, and I feel like this is its sort of second life with me. And I always wonder, like, who, if it could talk, the stories it would tell, the things that it saw. And I think that's an interesting thing with pre-owned. Now again, I like having the overhauls done, and that previous owner's DNA is off the watch, and I don't have to worry about skin cells and whatnot. Okay, but I think it is cool that there are aspects of this watch that are sort of a mystery to me, and it makes it a little bit more interesting than a watch that I know just went from the factory to the store. So again, a lot of people would just much rather just like a brand spanking new one, and I get that too. But that's sort of an aspect of pre-owned watches that I kind of like. So anyway, yeah, to each his own. But thank you guys for your comments, and happy watch hunting, whatever you do, new or used. Thanks for watching.